All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Austin Brothers Beer Company, and they're out of Alpena, Michigan, and this is their X Murks the Spot, and this is part of their Murky series, so they're calling this one a New England-style IPA that is brewed with Lotus, Sultana, and Cryo Citra hops, comes in at 7% alcohol by volume, 50 IBUs at the time of review. This can is just under 5 weeks old. I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka NoJinx, for hooking me up with this one. I'll post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Jeff has sent my way in the recent beer mail, although he just sent me another one, so you'll be seeing that beer mail unboxing soon. But yeah, this one sounds pretty good. Now, I just got done reviewing their Mr. Plumpercott, which was a sour ale with lactose, plums, and apricots. Really tasty, basically a summer crusher. And this is the first hop forward offering I'm having from Austin Brothers, and yeah, sounds pretty good. Lotus and Sultana, I've had them in beers before, but like they're very rare, at least from the beers that I've drank. Cryo Citra, other half uses all the time, but yeah, this should be an interesting beer for me. Hoping it's quite delicious. Guess we'll see. Let's give it a pour here. So yeah, it's murky. It's kind of what you expect out of the style. We'll go like that. Okay, so yeah, pours out like OJ. Has this really deep, dark orange color, very murky and turbid, hence the name X Murks the Spot and the Murky series, right? That's what they're going for. About a finger of this off-white, light tan colored head. It's more light tan than off-colored. Very creamy looking, appropriate for what you're looking for out of the style, in my opinion. Let's get a nose. Oh, nice. Ooh, like creamy tropical fruit. Oh yeah, that's nice. Creamy, fleshy, overripened mango, pineapple, papaya, peach, almost kiwi. Weird, but it's pretty damn good. There's this underlying, slightly dank, almost earthy quality to it. It's kind of hard to pinpoint, but it just has a uniqueness to it. Yeah, sweet and creamy tropical and stone fruits, basically. Underlying dank, herbaceous, earthy kind of quality to it. I just want to sit here and smell it because the fruits are just like very pungent in my face. Yeah, it smells awesome. It smells like a fruit bowl of awesomeness. Anyway, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Jeff. Very nice. Nose was a little better than the taste for me. I'm still getting like the creamy tropical and stone fruits, but it's not as big. In the taste, I'm getting this very big, herbaceous, earthy, almost dank quality that's pretty much leading the way. Body on this one, it's medium body, appropriate for 7%. The mouthfeel, yeah, it's soft, it's smooth, it's relatively creamy. I mean, the body and mouthfeel are pretty much what you're expecting out of a New England-style IPA. Very soft on the palate. The taste, right up front, those fruit characters pretty much carry over to tea. Like creamy, fleshy tropical fruit, papaya, pineapple, overripened, sweeter, mango, overripened peach, a little bit of that kiwi I was talking about. All that carries over, but it's a bit more subtle than it was in the nose. That hits me at the first, say, quarter of the palate, but then as it transitions through the palate and continues, that earthy, that it's just like a underlying omnipresent herbaceousness to the entire palate. But mid-palate, I'm getting an earthy character. I'm getting a pretty big dank character. And there's also a touch of like this slightly astringent, like floral character. It's kind of weird to explain, but it's very complex, but just, I don't know. Mid-palate, it kind of loses me just a bit. I really like the forefront of the palate, but mid-palate, it kind of changes. As it finishes, it dries out, has semi-dry finish. Semi-dry finish, but like the sweetness hits again. So front of the palate, you hit with the sweetness. Middle of the palate, that herbaceous, dankness, floral, earthy thing going on, slightly astringent. But then on the back end, it hits you with the sweetness again, like just like a fruit, like kind of like almost like a honey drizzled fruit sweetness. Can't really tell you it's 7% at all, so it hides the alcohol well. Yeah, I mean, it's a good beer and I'm enjoying it, but that middle of the palate for me, and it's probably just my palate. I've seen Jeff check this in a couple times since he sent it to me and he really likes it. I think he's like a 4.25. For me, that middle of that palate, just something's losing me a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice beer and I enjoy it, and I really like the first half of the palate and the second half of the palate. But that, middle 30, 40, 50% of the palate is where I'm just hit with something that just doesn't vibe with me as much as the rest of it. So, not a bad beer in the least. I'm actually enjoying it. I think it's a good beer. I think it's a well-made beer. I just think that astringent kind of character midway through the palate ruins the overall enjoyment for me. I think without that, this would definitely be high 4, low 4.25. It's probably like a 4.15 out of 5. Because of that mid-palate kind of weirdness, so to speak, I have to knock it down a quarter point. So I'm going to give X Murks the Spot, part of their Murky series from Austin Brothers, I'm going to give it a low 4 out of 5. I'm going to go 3.9 out of 5. I think it's skirting between 3.75 and 4 for me, but I'm going to go low 4 out of 5 because I really like the body and the mouthfeel. It hides the alcohol well. There's a lot of positives to the beer. It's just that little astringency mid-palate is something that I didn't anticipate, but it's there, and I got to be honest. So 3.9 out of 4 or 3.9 out of 5 is a pretty good score. I was hoping for a little bit more overall. It's just that weird kind of astringency kind of loses me mid-palate. Yeah, so good beer, but just not as good as I was hoping. But I appreciate you sending this one my way, Jeff. I know you liked it more than I did based on your Untapped check-ins, but we all have different palates. Jeff and I agree pretty much 80-90% of the time, so there's going to be 1 or 2 beers out of 10 that we're not exactly close by as far as ratings go, and this is probably going to be one of them. So, like I said, 3.9 out of 5 for X Murks the Spot, Murky series from Austin Brothers. Pretty good beer. Price and availability, I have no idea. This is where Jeff chimes in. I'm hoping a beer like this is in the $16 to $18 range, max. Might even be cheaper than that. But I'd say like 16 bucks would be appropriate for this beer. But let me know what you paid for it, Jeff. And availability, I'd imagine this is sold at the brewery, but they probably get distro in some places in Michigan. But again, this is where Jeff chimes in and lets me know because I have no idea. I just know he sent it my way. He's a very generous individual, and I appreciate him doing so. And I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Good beer. If you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Till the next one, cheers.